Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is an energy update. My name is Jill Proudfoot. I am a channeler, remote viewer, psychic medium. By remote viewing, I mean I astroplane and I travel to different locations throughout the world, guided by my spirit team. And I channel messages with another healer named Gail Clark. And so we channel a few times a week. Feel free to check out my website at jillproudfootmedium.com and follow me on YouTube at Jill Proudfoot Psychic Medium. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So with this energy update, some of you might have watched the last video a few weeks ago. The Arcturians from the seventh dimension had been coming through really strongly. One of them, the lead communicator, her name is Arcturian Z. I just kept seeing a Z every time I tuned into her, so we're calling her Z. Well, she's been coming through a lot since these portals opened up around the world, and these higher beings, intergalactic beings, have been coming through to assist humanity. And so this is what was coming through during this channeling. First, Z showed up. She did just validate that the Arcturians had been flooding in from the seventh dimension, bringing in the seventh dimension light codes. She said they themselves are having symptoms. Some of you might get these symptoms of like a lot of head pressure, ears ringing, tiredness. She said that they were actually having these symptoms because of the climate change from where they come from in the seventh dimension to here. And then she also wanted to touch on the term alien. We were being told that the term alien was actually created by reptilians to cause fear in people. And there is a distinction when you think about the low frequency or demonic entities. Those are reptilians. She kind of made a joke and she said, that's alien. But these beings that are coming through to assist humanity are intergalactic beings, or I call them higher beings as well. So something we were being shown is right now many of the Arcturians are helping humans to upgrade. So don't be surprised if you are seeing them in dream time. If you're having kind of weird experiences, we did hear that some of those who have like a strong religious background might be really concerned about what they're seeing in dream time. But this is just validation. It's okay to talk about it. And these beings, she even said, think of us as angels from God, a different type of angel. Although they are not angels, they're very different from angels, but they come from God to assist. And so many of you are going to be having some pretty strange dream time experiences, but then also you're going to have upgrades. You're coming back to the enlightened body, and so many of you are going to start to have experiencing like telepathy, visions, hearing things that you can't see. And so just know that your body is upgrading to your light body and that the Arcturians are assisting with this. Then she was showing us, this has come through for a few years now, different places of the earth that are going to be safety zones. Because humanity is kind of going through a split between these low vibrations and the high vibrations. And, you know, the energy workers, light workers, are trying to shift timelines. Anything that was focused on war, we're doing energy work to help shift that timeline so that it doesn't occur. although there's going to be still some pretty drastic changes and difficulties. And so with that, Z was coming in and saying, these are the places on Earth that people are going to find sanctuary and safety. And first she took us, a few weeks ago, she took us to Australia. We were floating above Australia, and like an amazing thing happened. I've never actually had this happen before, but the more time I spend in remote viewing, I'm starting to see other beings. And so I originally felt the energy of Gaia coming in, and then from Gaia came down Hecate, goddess Hecate, and she was a channel for Gaia coming in. And if you know anything about Hecate, she isn't afraid to go to the dark places to cast out evil. Okay, so she was kind of floating down from the sky above Australia, and then I heard and saw other like tribal goddess energy, divine feminine, who showed up around Australia protecting the borders of it. And we did a lot of energy work over that. And right at the end, we saw this like clear whitish dome go over top of Australia. And we were being told that this is a place of safety and the land is being restored. There was under this place, I believe, yes, a giant crystal under the ground, and I kept hearing like restoring the crystal grid line from ancient times of like Lemuria and Atlantis. These are, I kept getting with the crystals that it's the strength of these crystals helped with the distribution of divine energy to flow throughout the earth and for travel. Okay, so then this week during channeling, sorry, that's my dog. He's playing a lot. He's high energy. And I'm always told by my team that anything that happens during a reading is part of a reading. And Archangel Michael's just coming through now, pointing to my dog, Ozzy, saying, this is how it is. He said, things are happening fast. There he goes again. Things are happening fast, and it's going to feel like spinning. And Archangel Michael is saying, so please stay grounded, stay in meditation. He says, whatever you have to do. Oh, and I'm hearing tones like this has been coming through a lot lately, like starting to test out what your frequency is to help yourself stay grounded. So making any kinds of tones, high frequency noises. Okay, so then we were taken to South America this last channeling, and I kept hearing there's a new system starting here. And we did a lot of clearing out of old distorted energies. And again with this place, I again saw Hecate float down, and other goddesses around South America show up, and they were protecting the borders of South America. And then we were guided to Chile, to the left side of South America, and I saw all kinds of ships coming in, all kinds. I am seeing the number 2, so I don't know if 2 years is significant here, as there's more shifts coming in. But the ships I saw coming in, they were humans. They were, like humans on normal ships, not anything like UFO. But they were coming in for sanctuary. And then I was being told that South America is also one of the safety zones, sanctuaries. Many will come here from America for safety. Then I've seen this many times, a giant crack, like an earthquake that split the earth down the center of America. And at that time, that's when people will come down more. And I was being told, tell the people so that they know where to go for safety when that time comes. And then Arcturian Z was saying that the Arcturians have been incorporating themselves into society. I'm drawn to a Bible verse right now about be careful how you treat people because you never know how you're treating an angel in disguise. It's not the exact quote, but it's about that. That just came through as I'm channeling this, that many of the Arcturians, they are going to look like you or me, but this is just an example of the energy that is taking place in the world. It feels like a tornado. So just ground yourself. Okay. So, can you sit? He just shook his head no. So, okay. So, anyways, the Arcturians were saying that they flooded in through these portals and that they've been assisting us, that they're incorporating themselves into society. I did get an image that I do feel like will happen 2 years from now of Arcturians in their true form in a courtroom talking to politicians. That's a reoccurring image I keep getting. And then, let's see here. Yeah. We were then taken to Florida, and there was a lot of distorted energy in Florida, and then I saw the Bermuda Triangle right next to it, that there are like reptilian forces under the ocean in the Bermuda Triangle that have been, they are linked to the chemical warfare in the sky, because then I kept seeing the image of acid fall down in rain, and it going into the skin of people, and then it made the people confused, forgetful, almost like dementia, and then their frequency was lowered, and that's when our frequency is lowered, that's when reptilians can attach themselves and control. And so we did a lot of energy work of blocking that distorted energy from the Bermuda Triangle. It's kind of like something where we've it's held off for now, but there's more work to be done. I did hear that this has already started, and then I was just getting validation about the chemicals in the clouds, chemical warfare. You want to come up and say hi? Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? So those are the energy updates from the last few weeks of information that's come through, and thank you for watching.